One of the things that we always practice in my company, I teach around the country, is the grandmother rule. It's very, very simple. If you wouldn't recommend it to your grandmother, don't recommend it to your homeowner. But if you would recommend it to your grandmother, don't be afraid to recommend it to your homeowner. Let me tell you what I mean. I was talking to a young man recently down in Florida, and we were talking about this grandmother rule because he was going in, he was afraid to make recommendations, and I said, hey man, I want you to imagine this. Imagine you're leaving the country for 5 years, and you go to your grandmother's house, and you want to make sure that your grandmother isn't going to have any problems with her HVAC system for 5 years because you don't want anybody else coming in and messing with her system. So you want to make sure your grandma is protected for 5 years. What level of service, what level of repairs, preventative and otherwise, would you make if it was your grandmother? And he thought for a second. He said, man, he goes, I know exactly what you mean. He had just moved from the Northeast up down to Florida. And he said, before I moved, I knew I wouldn't be back for a few years. So I went to my mother's house, my grandmother's house, and my aunt's house. And I did all types of repairs, preventative repairs, all types of other different things that I did for them to make sure they wouldn't have any problems while I was gone. So that's the only rule you have to remember when you're at home. If you'd recommend it to your grandmother, recommend it to your homeowner. If you wouldn't recommend it to your grandmother, don't recommend it to your homeowner. It's a very simple rule, and it ensures that you're always conducting yourself with the utmost integrity, the utmost character. You're showing, honesty. You're showing high confidence. You're showing the world that you do business a better way. We have to make sure and protect our reputation, and the number one way to protect our reputation is to do the right thing. It says, one of my mentors, Stephen R. Covey, who wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Dr. Covey used to always say, if you want to be trusted, be trustworthy.